morning. My name is Beth Kleinfelter. I am the boat naturalist today on Captain Bill and Sons Whale Watch vessel, the Miss Cape Ann. We are here today in Boston, Massachusetts, viewing the tall ships that will be parading by shortly.
Hi, I'm Dave Welsh, producer of the Let's Visit show. Today we are sailing out of Gloucester to see the tall ships arrive in Boston Harbor. Stay with us. This should be a fun adventure. The trip from Gloucester took about an hour. Captain Bill's crew served a great breakfast to all the passengers, who were now anxious to arrive just off Deer Island in Boston Harbor. When we finally arrived in Boston Harbor and dropped anchor, the fog completely enveloped the boat. The tall ships peeked out of the fog, making a very eerie scene as they sailed to the starting line of the parade of tall ships. Beefy boat. The parade was delayed for 1 hour because of the fog, but here it comes.
So someone had asked me there.
Thanks to Captain Bill's whale watching boat, we were in perfect position to see the parade.
Alright, so this first vessel just now coming into view is the Eagle. It is a commissioned naval vessel. It is the Coast Guard, U.S. Coast Guard certification. So the two vessels following the Eagle, I'll talk about the one kind of in the middle right now with the brown sails. That's the Roseway. Roseway is a schooner. Its home port is in St. Croix. Its length is about 112 feet, and on deck, the beam, so the width of the vessel is about 25 feet. The rig height, so up to the top of the sails there, is about 103 feet, and it weighs about 260 gross tons. The length overall of the Thomas E. Lannon is about 90 feet. The beam height is about 18 feet. And it weighs about 48 tons.
The Thomas E. Lannon is a schooner built at the Essex, Massachusetts shipyard in 1997. The Lannon has 2-hour daily sails along the North Shore coastline. What could be more inspiring than an international fleet of tall ships sailing into Boston Harbor on a July morning? My first experience with visiting the tall ships was in 1964 with my wife and then little kids, as we were guests of the crew of the Juan Sebastian del Cano, a Spanish barkentine. We even had two of the sailors stay in our house overnight.
Its length is about 179 feet. Beam length is about 24 feet. Now this vessel, the Picton Castle, has sailed around the world 6 times.
For many years, the parade of tall ships saw vessels built in foreign boatyards. But this year, several of the ships were constructed in the Essex, Massachusetts boatyard of Harold Burnham.
Now is Europa. The home port for the Europa is in the Netherlands.
Some of the visiting vessels are owned by museums. Some serve as roving ambassadors, and others offer a combination of public and private service. Most of these ships are involved in some type of sail training, either for Coast Guard or naval cadets.
It's a 55-foot sloop, and it was built in Germany. It is owned and operated by a student-run sailing club affiliated with the university.
Love the flags.
So the ship that's just getting ready to pass our stern here is the Guayas. Its home port is in Quito, Ecuador. It was built in 1978 as a sail training vessel for the Chilean Navy. It has a crew of about 120 sailors, 8 cadets, and 35 officers that we can see on the flag on the back of the vessel. You can see the original Guayas, built in 1841 on the River Guayas, which is its namesake. In 2015 through 2016, she sailed around the world for 10 months with 48 midshipmen that were completing their navigation courses. Sounds like a really festive boat. Sounds like they're having fun over there. So this is the Oliver Hazard Perry that just shot off his cannons right behind us. It is the youngest vessel here today in the Parade of Sail. It was built just last year, 2016. So the ship passing behind us right now, about 6 o'clock, the Formidable. Pirate ship. It kind of looks like a pirate ship. So Boston is its home port. It was built in 2000. It was built in New York, about 72 feet in length. So we have kind of shifted around here. The tide's been changing, so you will note now that the vessels are going to be passing by on our right side. Certainly recognize this white and red vessel that's closer to us. I'm going to talk about it first because it's moving a little bit faster here. That's the schooner Ardell, and it docks right next to the Miss Cape Ann near Maritime Gloucester and Gloucester Harbor. It's a 55-foot schooner. Dickey schooners were a common type of fishing vessel that sailed out of Cape Ann harbors from the early 18th century to the early 20th century. Feet in length. So the large, tall ship coming by us now is the Union. It is the largest ship in the parade today. It is about 379 feet in length. It is also the second youngest. It was only built in Peru in 2015. It also holds the largest crew, over 250 individuals. And formed what was called the Fleet of the Indies. For 3 centuries, these Spanish galleons crossed the Atlantic Ocean back and forth, sailed around the Caribbean Sea and the American coasts, and covered the Pacific route as well. They carried seamen, merchant traders, and settlers, while their holds bore the fabulous loads resulting from American and Asian trade. The galleon's shapes, details, and measures so that this replica could be built. It has an overall length of about 160 feet. It has 4 masts, which hold 6 sails, which measure almost 11,000 square feet. Her average speed is about 7 knots. She was intended to become Spain's national training ship. Unfortunately, during her construction in 1947, the yard where she was being built suffered catastrophic explosions and damaged the ship. She looks very sleek for a ship her size. She's just over 370 feet in length, so almost as large as the Union, the largest ship that we saw today. The Chilean Navy, the original Esmeralda, the vessel that this particular ship was built after. So she's a schooner-rigged, 4-masted barking team with square sails on the foremasts and gaff-rigged sails on the main. Sternmost, the mizzen mast, carries gaff sails. In total, it's driven by 24 sails with a sail area of over 14,000 square feet. Wait a minute, playing that. Traditional high-seas sailing experiences for people of all ages. The vessel passing us now is the Captiva. So until the 1980s, it was sandbanks. Like ships were always crewed until the 1980s before automation. So it helps her fly through the waters more effortlessly than the average schooner. She's an all-wooden vessel with a white glass overlay hull.
It's a surprise. Of the Morgan. I saw that.
So the vessel passing behind us now is